My farmhands are very affectionate. Feel free to pet them if you like. Giata Castel wants my professional opinion. What an honor. I have a few theories, but no firm conclusions. I have to ask, is it true? Did Vidaro kick her out of town? That's our governor for you. Self-righteous even in his own ignorance. Very well. I'll tell you what I know about the Dream Scourge. But first, I need some help around the farm. I'm up to my ears in chores around here, and the Revenants can only do so much. They can't do complicated tasks, you see. Anyway, I'm afraid the time has come to put down poor Silvo. Silvo is one of my Revenants. My oldest, my favorite, and the pride of my flock. Someone needs to put the poor fellow out to pasture. And I just don't have the heart to do it myself.
Well, it's already dead. That's the hard part done right there.
When a Revenant goes bad, there's only one option. Final death. And poor Silvo's time has come. You did? That was quick. Poor Silvo. He was a bright young Revenant, but a very old man. Thank you for giving him peace. I'll be fine. I've lost so many Revenants over the years, and I'm always such a wreck afterward. So, the Dream Scourge. I've been keeping an eye on the readings from my fields. This plague, as we know it, is a recent development. But I believe whatever causes it is older by far. Maybe even as old as the living lands. The exotic plants and animals, the twisted landscape, the Dream Scourge. They have a common ancestor. There's something about the essence in the living lands that's different from anywhere else I've seen. Precisely my point. There is something unique at the heart of this. Not to get too superstitious, but in these troubled times, the arrival of a godlike is no coincidence. You are meant to be here. Toward what end, only you can say. Well, I'm happy to give her some good news for a change. You and Giata are going to shake things up. As for me, I'll be keeping a close eye on my flock.
Oh, and thank you for the nightmare fuel. I really have been sleeping entirely too well lately.
I'm remembering why people find this place unsettling.
Did you hear that Giata was sent into exile?
Wonder if she needs a new research partner.
Or maybe a test subject?
We could do both. Anything to work with the great Giata Castel.
Remy, look what I found. A genuine godlike.
Do you think they can hear us?
Let's find out. Hello, me, Yvette. You friend? Remy, take a note. Fluent speech and upright posture show marks of sophistication in the endangered godlike. We heard that Giada partnered up with an outsider, but I had no idea you were a godlike. Fascinating.
I suppose we owe her a favor. Or two.
Giata must have sent you to be our test subject. She knows how we adore your kind. Satisfy our curiosity and we'll give you everything Giata needs to finish her research. Deal? We want to know about the godlike, of course. You're the first one we've encountered in the wild.
let's begin the examination. If you could choose, who or what would you be in your next life? Next time you go around the wheel, you might not get so lucky. Tired of being remarkable? Interesting.
My turn. Some would call you blessed. Others would call you cursed. The fact remains, you were touched by the gods. Wouldn't you say that you owe something to the rest of us? So, you believe we need your help. Interesting.
Oh, I thought of another. We all know that godlike can't reproduce. How do you plan on leaving a legacy after you're gone? Very optimistic, aren't we? I think that covers everything. Thank you for that brilliant insight, godlike. You're a credit to your dwindling kind.
So, Giata wants to know all about the Dream Scourge, yes? Such has been her research of late. Do you want the good news or the bad news?
The Dream Scourge is proof that an unprecedented metaphysical disaster can take place at any time.
Oh, that's a load off my mind. Sure beats not constantly worrying about the future.
How's that good news?
Giata will be interested to learn that the Dream Scourge cannot just be studied in a lab. Its nature is wild, so it has to be studied in the wild. Our machines and experiments would meddle with it too much.
And like anything affecting the soul, it must be connected to essence. Thus, if she wishes to discover more about the Dream Scourge, a Pillar of Adra would be a good place to start.
Ah, of course. The idea is a bit high-minded. Adra acts like a pathway for souls as they rejoin the wheel.
And the Dream Scourge is a plague of the soul, is it not?
So, just as Adra channels essence, so too may it provide a key to discovering more about the Dream Scourge. An entity, you say? If this entity is your patron, that's all perfectly natural. But if it's something else, with enough essence and a capable animancer, perhaps you could trace this tether back to its source.
Right, and with a little fresh sake, you can follow an ogre back to its lair. Still wouldn't recommend it.
Just be careful that your tether doesn't snap back and kill you in the process.
Now that we've researched the mind of a godlike, the next step is anatomy. But we've taken enough of your time. Farewell.
Hurry, before they change their minds.
Ugh, I might have dozed off there for a bit. Were any of those words the ones we needed?
For an Adiran, you're very resourceful, and a more than capable companion for poor Giata. Very few, save for old Quilici, and he's like a father. Now that I've got the heart, my thirsty invention will drink deeply of its essence. All that's left to do is calibrate it. First things first. Let's have a look at your soul. I'm going to ask some questions to induce a metaphysical quiver. No, not to worry, just testing your reflexes. Let's start with an easy one. You wake up on a beach, looking up into the sun. Your hands are covered in blood. All right. Let's try some word association. Tell me the first thing that comes to mind. Pendulum. Chrysalis.
A wheel of uneven spokes. It shatters under its own weight.
Hello? You still with me? Strange. Shouldn't feel anything in the physical sense. No matter. Let's go over your results. Your soul has a fascinating internal structure. Perfectly balanced. An artist couldn't have made it better. Your godlike nature is a marvel to behold. God, my condolences. Those two are a handful, even for animancers. What I see is something entangled about your soul. An outside presence that both is and isn't a part of you. It's old, dark, and rather tricky to pin down. Very interesting. That would be closer to Giata's area of expertise. I'm sure she'd love to give you a look. Fascinating. Thank you for getting my machine calibrated again. But you came for Giata's theory of the Dream Scourge. Between the two of us, she's on to something. Our farms are in great peril. The essence has been drained from the land. Diverted, like the flow of a river. I think Eora is old, haunted, and unsympathetic. Anything is possible. Regardless, essence doesn't just disappear. It must be going somewhere. All I can tell you is keep looking. You'll find what you're after. As much as I hate giving people bad news, that's all I have. Please give Giata my fondest regards.
Keep looking, huh? I'm getting a bad feeling about what we'll find.
Yeah, I'll be honest. He lost me when he started talking about souls. What did I miss?
Imagine a river of essence. Enriches the soul and fuels our
I hope you aren't afraid of lightning. Where there's animancy, there's bound to be lightning. Good timing. I'm about ready to get started. So, did you learn anything of particular interest? That's the fun part of metaphysics. Everything is strange, but nothing is new. Look at us. Barely even started, and already we're making progress. Monto's machine is working, Elia will keep an eye on her revenants, and Yvette and Remy are providing us an alibi. Under the circumstances, the two are not so different. I needed those animancers for more than their expertise. Monto's invention nullifies spiritual interference. Having it up and running means we won't get any false signals. Whenever I tap into an Adra pillar, Elia's farmhands tend to get a little bitey. Thanks to you, they won't be a problem. And then there's Yvette and Remy, the governor's eyes and ears. In exchange for privacy, I gave them a test subject. I'd call that a good day's work. Now we just need the right equipment for the job. When my parents died, they left me their life's work. An invention like no other. The phantasmal focus. Think of it as a spiritual tuning fork, or a dowsing rod. It has many functions, some more obvious than others. The problem is it's in the basement. I haven't gone down there since the accident. Since they died.
I can't blame you for avoiding a place like that.
I would get it myself, but I'm not ready to face what's down there. The door to the basement is just outside, around the corner. Of course you'll need a key. Please excuse the mess.
That's where her parents died. I'm glad we can spare her from having to go back.
Okay, walking into the basement of an Animancer I just met. Right, feels great.
Something's not right here. Stay ready.
Haven from the blight. Who grows here?
I feel pretty certain that those people aren't supposed to be plants.
What a horrific fate.
Guys, we can leave now, right?
Poor Giada. To think she's been living with this right under her nose.
I don't. Anyone know what happened back there?
I think those were Giada's parents, or whatever's left of them.
So they're dead?
Or something like that.
Gods, I can't believe this.
You're back. You found it. You actually found my inheritance. Did you see my mother and father? Are they still there? Nothing so malicious, but no less cruel. All that's really down there is an unhappy memory. One that keeps on growing. For the time being, that would be best. With the phantasmal focus, I can finally tap directly into the essence of the living lands. I can also use it to smack around anyone who gets in our way. Don't worry. It's more durable than it looks. Kind of like me. The only thing we're missing now is an Adra pillar. And I know the perfect one. Naku Tedek, the old godless ruin west of Eora. There should be some equipment waiting for us. We used it to study the Adra pillar. Then some priests moved in and took offense at our work. I hope they haven't tampered with the equipment, or this will be a very short experiment. That rugged thing? It's as dry as a bone. Hardly any essence left. Even if it wasn't, I'm not exactly welcome in the workshop these days. Naku Tedek is special. I used to play there as a child and take rubbings of the memorial plaques. Historians think it may have once been a burial ground, a place where souls can return to the earth. So, we kept the tradition alive. Many of our founders are buried there, though not all of them, as you discovered. Well, that covers everything. Let's go. The Dream Scourge can't hide for long. Before we head out, let's make the most of our time in Fjord. No telling how long we'll be gone. And I hate to be a problem, but I do my best work in small groups. Chalk it up to performance anxiety. That was not my finest hour. I was so angry. Mistakes were made. When it comes to the Dream Scourge, I don't want there to be any mistakes.
Sounds good. I need to do some hunting anyway.
Once we're all together, we should trade ghost stories. Best way to get acquainted. In the meantime, let's be off.
Envoy? Hard to imagine what Giada's going through right now, with her parents and all that. I mean, I have no idea what actually happened there, but she lost her people. She'll need time to get past that. And she deserves it. Right, changing the subject. Pleasant dreams.
Thank you again for letting me join you. An Animancer never misses an opportunity to embrace the unknown. Still, being an Animancer feels different without Fjord Messiverno. For the first time, I don't have to prove myself to anyone. It'll take some getting used to, that's for sure. At least now I have a place I can call my own. Good, because I have a lot of research to do, and this could take a while. Not to change the topic, but this little adventure of ours, will it be dangerous? Well, I never expected to live forever. My mother and father taught me how to defend myself, among other things. When you need me, I'll be ready. I hope so, anyway. What are you so curious about? Anyone in particular? I warn you, I'm not the best judge of first impressions. Kai is a useful fellow. We need people like him to keep you grounded. Just not too grounded. On the surface, Kai is all charm and confidence. You feel good knowing he's around. But there's something deeper. Something in his core that he guards from everyone. maybe even himself. Anytime. Marius is working through something. An old wound that hasn't healed. A search for forgiveness? Who knows? He's a tough fellow, but I wouldn't put too much pressure on him. Good question. Mental and emotional pressure, specifically. Marius could hunt the great western stag if he set his mind to it, but his own feelings elude him. When he wants to find himself, give him room to do so, but don't push him. Just be there to catch him. We haven't been together long, but I think I have you figured out. In Paradise, you have a reputation for being an unlawful misfit. This is the frontier, after all. We don't exactly do things by the book. Your Messiverno tolerates you well enough. No doubt thanks to my influence. Of course, all I know is what you've done. You may not think these choices reflect who you are. At the end of the day, you shouldn't care what anyone thinks. All that matters is how you see yourself. I've spilled all the gossip I know. Ask me again when there's a new face in camp. That little island off of Dawnshore? None that I know of. Ignato Casto led the Valiant Trading Company in the Deadfire Archipelago. Among other things, he invested in the future of Animacy, and apparently he had interests here. Afraid not. I've heard a lot of contradictory stories coming out of the Deadfire in recent years. Some say Castle is still in power, while others think his second-in-command took over the Valiant Trading Company. You know how it is. Wherever there's conflict, there's bound to be misinformation. He had some ideas about moving great distances in the blink of an eye. As far as I know, he was unsuccessful. Animancy and ambition are a dangerous mixture. Intoxicating, but dangerous. I hope not. I wouldn't want my family associated with speculation, corruption, and whatever else happened in the Deadfire. We have enough problems already. Unfortunately, that's all I know. Whether or not Castle succeeded, I don't think it's folly to dream. Now that you mention it, I did try and awaken my soul, to become fully aware of my past lives. Every Animancer tries, and fails. It's practically a rite of passage. So, one evening, I crept into the workshop and cobbled an invention together from spare parts. Amateur work. Then I turned it on. Big mistake. The next thing I knew, it was morning. I was floating in the fountain, and my head was pounding like a drum.
You don't need Animacy for that. Just rum and a crew on shore leave.
That answers a lot of questions, honestly.
Sometimes I wonder, what if it actually worked? What if all of this happened before, and I'm just reliving the events of a past life? I try not to think about it too much. A simple question with a very complicated answer. The device is attuned to the spiritual energy of the living lands, much like a compass to magnetic north. But essence is chaotic by nature. As you saw with your own eyes, imposing order on chaos is not without risk. Indeed. Don't get me wrong. This invention is a small miracle, but it isn't enough. The phantasmal focus was supposed to be the start of something grand. One lever of a device that exists only in theory. Perhaps it should remain that way. Thanks for talking. I can't believe it. Ranger Dorsal. a traitor to Fior Messiverno. Shame we had to kill her. But at least now she can't hurt anyone else. The damage is contained. More or less. I'm glad you think so. Still, it's a shame. Dorso gave up on the dream of Fior Messiverno. Blamed Animancers for the problems we tried to solve. And I hate to see anyone lose hope. That's all for now. Let me know if there's anything else. What do you want to know? I suppose you deserve to know, after what I put you through. My mother wanted to expand Fior's agriculture. Feeding Emerald Stair wasn't ambitious enough. She wanted to feed the world. She thought she could break the wilderness, using Animacy as the whip. Turn the living lands into a garden. That's putting it lightly. After my father put the finishing touches on the phantasmal focus, she was impatient to get started. After all, whoever controls the spirit of the living lands has nature in the palm of their hand. Indeed, a world run by Animacy. Emerald Stair was just the beginning to her. My father thought she was brilliant. Others thought she was mad. I think she was a victim of her own ambition. She wanted so much, and there was so little time to achieve it. Theoretically, her plan should have worked. But the living lands had other ideas. When she used the phantasmal focus, theory collided with reality. Everything went wrong. No. To my knowledge, the accident was no everyday occurrence. But neither was the experiment. My mother transgressed on nature, on existence itself. Still, I don't understand what went wrong. When I do, then I can finish her work. I was 17. That makes it... Gods, has it been 13 years already? After they died, I wouldn't go near a lab. It was ages before Kolichi got me to crack open a book. I have a lot of catching up to do in my studies. Need to make up for lost time. My mother and father didn't know the risks, and I can't stop thinking about them. Caution and experience will stop us from repeating their mistakes. I can't rule anything out, but I suspect the Dream Scourge had something to do with it. It lives in the essence of the living lands, corrupting whatever it touches. And if I'm right, that means it's been here a long time. Or the forces behind it. That's all I care to say for now. At least, about this topic. I thought my family's research could help Emerald Stair. That it could banish the Dream Scourge from our lands. Of course, Vidaro wouldn't even give me a chance. He was afraid of history repeating itself. Still, I'm hopeful. This legacy of mine could change Animacy as we know it. And something tells me I'm close to a breakthrough. Closer than my mother ever got. I hardly think your Emperor would approve. Good thing he's on the other side of the world. No Animancer has engineered an ecosystem before. Maybe, with a little luck, I could be the first. Until next time. I hope... Maybe it seems like nothing to you, but to her it's everything. When you consider how many Orlans and dwarves there are, it's outrageous that we build so high off the ground. She's very special to me. Don't let her size fool you. On the inside, Yatsley stands as tall as a mountain. One of these days she's going to change the world, shake things up. And I'll be at her side, grinning like a fool. Anyway, thanks again. What are you... Go on, then. Ah, you want a story? Very well. Settle in. It all started about 50 years ago in the great city of Spirento. A young nobleman by the name of Maxim Vidaro sought to inherit a distinguished government position. A distant cousin cheated Maxim out of the title. He was devastated, his political future uncertain. No one lifted a finger to help. Not the banks, not the merchants, or the politicians. So, Maxim did what Valians do best. Something like that. Maxim plotted his revenge. They say he prayed to Scan, the effigy, god of rebellion and defiance, to ask for a blessing. And Scan answered. Take their best and brightest, their heirs, their scholars, their futures, to the far side of the world, never to return. And Maxim did just that. He gathered a following and left the Valian republics, giving thanks to his dark god. We prefer to call it an intellectual haven of free thinkers, but it's true that most of us are animancers. Spirento was full of animancers, many of them in debt, and Maxim was a wealthy patron. They needed each other. So the animancers followed Maxim all the way out here, including my parents, Quilici, and others around town. At the time, this place was an animancer's dream. No oversight, limited government, and soil rich with essence. 40 years later, Maxim vanished. They say the effigy came to collect his soul. Of course, you and I know better. He died peacefully, content that what he made would outlast him. His son has been in charge ever since, for better or worse. We have that much in common. He and I might squabble in public from time to time, but we're both just figuring it all out as we go. Thanks for listening. We should do this again.
I love a good ghost story. Just not the dreams I have afterwards.
Hadn't heard all that before. Probably a lesson or two in there.
One of these days you'll have to tell me an Adiran ghost story. You learn a lot about people by what scares them. Let me think. Quilici has a girlfriend, as cute as a button, and as smart as an archmage. That isn't a secret. I'm just happy for him. Have you heard of the incident at Beldereno Pass? 20 settlers lost their lives in a winter storm. Ever since, people have heard ghostly cries from a nearby cave. Fascinating, isn't it? Tragic, of course, but fascinating. You too.
Did they not glow in the light? Her parents, her sentinels. To grow and flourish still, life without rot, form without death. The lake dries. Prune the bellflowers. Why should anything wilt? Endless spring. They breathe, they flower, they will never fade. apple into seed? We think not. They have blossomed now. They sing in peace. Was it not worth the change? Life. Germinate the sprouts. No winter, only spring. They are strong now, vibrant, better than their frail shells. More than alive. No suffering, no end. Sleep now. Dream of beauty and new life. We will speak soon.